What is it inside our imaginations that keeps surprising us at odd moments? When something is given back that we didn't know we had had, in solitude, spontaneously, and with great joy. I'd like to ask that question again. What is it inside your imagination that keeps surprising you at odd moments when something is given back you didn't know you had had? In solitude, spontaneously, and with great joy. That last word, joy, is the one I'm interested in for sure. I love joy. That piece you see right there was written by a poet named Charles Wright, who lived over the mountains in Johnson City, Tennessee. He came over maybe a few times to Asheville, which is my hometown. I grew up here. And Charles Wright couched that piece in a longer poem called The Lonesome Pine Special. So when you get home, take a look at it. It's Lonesome Pine Special. It's about travel, it's about landscapes, and it's about stories. My big idea tonight is tell your better story, from the imaginative storm to the creative form. It's actually a big idea, and it's also an old idea. It's an old idea that's been with us for how long? Long time. First utterance somewhere way back in the cave. And it's an idea that we all can cling to. Tonight we've talked about it a whole lot already. This guy that is the director of LXD, and he walked out and he said, I'm a filmmaker and a storyteller. And these dancers are going to tell you their story, and they're going to do it physically. And I wanted to do that. I don't know if you did or not, but I thought I'd like to spin on my head, but I just can't quite spin on my head. And I thought, well, maybe so the first guy comes out. No, that's fine. I can do that. No problem. And then I can do this. I got to. All right, where do we do this? And then he does this. Then the third guy comes out, and he does the other stuff, right? And I'm thinking, whoa, I want to join the Legion of Extraordinary Dancers. I want to be part of that. And then I thought, well, I don't have to really be part of the Legion of Extraordinary Dancers. I can be part of the Legion of the Extraordinary. And tonight, I thought when I come out here to talk to you about my imaginative storm to the creative form, I'm going to be a member of the Legion of Extraordinary Dreamers. And I'm going to be a member of the Legion of Extraordinary Designers, the Legion of Extraordinary Destiny Makers, the Legion of Extraordinary Idea Generators. So here we are, the Legion of Extraordinary, sitting here in this room at the TED conference. Now, I want to share with you a little bit tonight about my process. It's changed my life. And it did rise from the imaginative storm idea that Charles Wright dropped on me many years ago. And I'd like to start with the creative form. And this is what my creative form looks like. From the imaginative storm to the creative form, here it is. It's a circle. How about that? And it's a perfect circle, like perfection. Now, perfection has a bad name these days. Everybody says, oh, I'm burdened with perfection. Well, actually, we are not burdened with perfection. Perfection is just an ideal we simply can never achieve. But it is something that we can aspire toward. So I like the idea in my creative process of going from the imagination to appreciation, direction, and excellence. Take tonight. Somewhere a couple of years ago, somebody said, hey, let's do a TEDx conference. Sounds great. Good idea. Nice imaginative work. Somebody else heard the idea. They got in a circle and they started to appreciate it. And they said, maybe we can do this, maybe we can do that. Let's do it one time and see what happens. Now we're here a second time. And it's because people imagined, they appreciated, and then they had the courage to go in all kinds of directions, take action, and make it happen. And as they moved toward that, they moved toward excellence, which is the circle. If you look at the sun, it's excellent. I love it when the sun comes every day. I wait for it all the time. Every night I wait for the sun to come up. It's an excellent thing. Also extraordinary could go in there. All sorts of things can go in there. But this is my process, and this is what I use all the time to create my poetry and my storytelling and all the other stuff that I'm called on to do. What does the imagination look like, you might be wondering? Welcome to my imagination. I drew this in Taos, New Mexico about a month ago. I thought, I wonder what my imagination looks like. So I drew my imagination, cut out a bunch of stuff, and made a collage. How many of you have made a collage? Okay, it looks like a dream state, right? Your imagination is full of all potential. Every possible thing you can imagine just sits there, and it's just waiting to say, I want to come out. Just let me just hop out and do this bit, right? Or whatever you do. I love my imagination because I trust it. And from my imagination comes my poetry. And so I'm moving back to form. So you go from the imaginative storm to the creative form. And if you trust that process, it's wonderful. By the way, you all are masters of the form. And you're also the masters of the imagination. The only difference between form and imagination is if we work our imaginations a bit more, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. The form is already in good shape. So you work that imagination a bit. So here's what it looks like. This is a form for me. My journal and my hand. I trust my moving hand. Sometimes I get sloppy and it just rolls along, but I still trust it. So I'd like to give you just a little short poem to carry away, especially for tomorrow morning when you get up. This is a final product, the creative form. It's called Coffee. The urge for morning coffee comes over me like a congregation, whipping up salvation down yonder on a good Sunday along the Mississippi. Coffee, drink of the chosen ones. The wide-eyed night crawlers, the hard-boiled Irish lads, the steel bangers, the track sweepers, the dead-on radio junkies, the NASCAR drivers, flag folders, steel bangers, coal burners, and high steppers in California. And you and me and any of us that's got the need to kick it out of low, you got to know we're going to make some fire. So if that Java puts x-rays in our eyes, then let's just lay down a buck or two and make it happen. I take mine black. How about you? Just email me if you'd like to have a copy of it, nave@jamesnave.com. I'll send it to you. I want that to go everywhere. Let's go back for a minute to the Legion of Extraordinary Dancers. I have also a process that I trust in my imagination, which is when I watch something, I jot words down. And the words that I jot down come from whatever prompt happens to happen. So when I'm in Taos working on this, I watched the Legion of Extraordinary Dancers 2 or 3 times, as you just did, and I jotted some words down that popped out as my imagination stormed, as those dancers stormed. And I just love the way they do that. And I wish I could spin on my head, but I can't. But I have a head, and that's a start. Here are the words. Bria, would you like to come up here and help me with this? Bria's going to help us out here. Here are the words that the Legion of Extraordinary Dancers inspired. Let's take a look at those. What I'd like for you to do is you storm your imagination. Look at those words. Most of the time when you see a list like that, it's fairly easy. People will read it. They'll say possible, step, rhythm, time, really, zone. Very distinct, 1, 2, 3, 4. But if you look at those words, there are a million different poetic opportunities that lie in those words. Now, and you can see like the reality thrill of energy gallop might be one. So I have a reality thrill of energy gallop. I'm not sure what it is, but my imagination accommodates it. So I want you to think back for a moment to the imaginatives, to the dancers. And Bria's over here. And what I'd like for you to do is just call out some words that popped up in your imagination when you watched the dancers. Give me some, and I'll try to call them out so Bria can write them down. Just a few.
Fluid.
What?
Fluid.
Fluid. What else? Steady? What? Ecstatic? Poetic? What? Magical. Fearless. What else? Twirl. Twisted from the back. Squish. Oh, I was hoping for squish. I love squish. I wanted to do that, but I was waiting for somebody else to do it. Give me 2 or 3 more. What? Spirited. Let me get some from the quick row here. Have one. Fiery. Cerebral. High life, and one more. Controlled. They were controlled. From the imaginative storm to the creative form. Did you get those written down? Controlled. Bria's like, I don't have anything to do with control. Now Bria's going to bring the words over. Thank you very much. She did a great job. Give her a hand for all the drawing. Well done. Well done. Okay, now here are the words that you created. Now, I wish I had more time to ask all of you to come up on stage and be with me to play with these words, but as you can see, with just a little prompting, your imagination will deliver the goods, right? So up there we have the Cutting Time Collective, and we have the Open Power Tickle. I like that one, the Open Power Tickle. I'm just discovering these myself. I haven't reviewed it. So here's yours. You can take a list of words like this, and you can read them very conservatively. Fluid, steady, ecstatic, poetic, magical, twirl. It's kind of boring, right? It's not much to it, okay? But if you take a list of words arbitrarily plucked from anywhere, especially the collective imagination of the extraordinaries, you get something like this. You can read it: the fluid, steady, ecstatic, poetical, magical twirl, twisted squish, spirited, fiery, cerebral control. Control cerebral, fiery, spirited squish. No, you do not want to control the cerebral, fiery, spirited squish, twisted twirl, magical, poetic, ecstatic, steady, fluid. The flying open power runs away with the precision masters, leaving us vulnerable inside the style. The style is social excitement. I take the magical words and I twist them around, and I say to the extraordinaries out there tonight in this TED audience, I say twirl. Twirl just like the extraordinary dancers twirl. Can you twirl and can you twist? And can you say on the count of 3, squish? 1, 2, 3. Squish. You got it. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Squish. And you will be spirited into the fiery cerebral control of nothingness. It is bliss when you say squish, ladies and gentlemen. It is bliss when you say squish. It is bliss when you say squish. It is bliss when you say squish. It is when you say squish. All right, I love that. Give yourselves a big hand for saying squish. In Ulysses, Alfred Lord Tennyson says, the poem was written by Alfred Lord Tennyson. It's a big, long poem. It's kind of academic, and it's titled Ulysses. It's been one that's been a favorite of mine from my very early childhood, when my mother, who still lives on Brevard Road, behind Jim Barclay's, in the house my father built 60 years ago with my sister. She is now 86 years old. When I was a boy, my mother said, "You are a part of all that you have met. Yet, all experience is an arch, where through gleams that untraveled world, whose margin fades forever and forever as you move." I'll say it one more time because I believe that's true for all of us. You are a part of all that you have met, yet all experience is an arch, where through gleams that untraveled world, whose margin fades forever and forever as you move. And I'll ask the question that I asked in the beginning one more time. And when you go out tomorrow morning, I'd like for you to ask this question: what is it inside my imagination that keeps surprising me at odd moments when something is given back I didn't know I had, in solitude, spontaneously, and with great joy? Tell your better story and ask everybody to tell theirs. That's why we're here tonight. That's a big idea that's been around a long time, from the imaginative storm to the creative form. Tell your better story. Thank you all very much.